Hi everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, press the red button to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified for my upcoming video. It's all free. Thank you. Being faithful doesn't mean you're fearless. It means your faith is greater than your fear. Amen. Today I'm going to show you how to make lamb dumpling stew. I made this a few years ago, but I got a few comments from my subscribers saying that the sound quality wasn't very good. So I'm going to do it again with a slight variation. So here are the ingredients. Okay, you'll need a slightly bigger pot for this dumpling stew. And in here I've got 2 ladle spoons of oil. And I've got 1 kilo of lamb. You could use lamb, mutton or beef. I've got 3 large onions chopped here. I've got a whole cauliflower here. I've got new potatoes, medium size. I've got 8 of these. I've got a fistful of button onions. You'll find this at the Indian shop. And the garam masalas, you need quite a lot of garam masalas for the flavor. I've got 1 teaspoon of peppercorns and 1 teaspoon of cloves. I've got 6 big cardamom, black cardamom, so which you have to just press open and leave it in there. And then I've got 2 inches of ginger. I've got 8 red chilies that were whole, but I've broke it into pieces. And I've got 5 or 6 cinnamon sticks. And we'll need carrots. So I've got 3 carrots cut into big chunks. We've got 4 green chilies that we'll leave whole. I've got 1 mug of peas, and I've got 5 big medium to big size tomatoes. We'll need some salt, we'll need some lime and coriander for garnishing, and we'll need some water. Okay, the first thing, as soon as the oil gets hot, you add the onions, and now you keep browning the onions. Not browning the onions, keep stirring the onions till it's golden brown, because then we'll add the garam masala. Okay, once the onion starts to get golden color, then you add all this garam masala and this ginger. And now you wait for the onions to get even browner. Okay, you can see now the onions are nice and brown. Now you need to add the meat, whatever meat you're using. Now you need to keep browning this meat till all the meat's nice and brown. You can see I'm still browning the meat. It's not done yet. This will take at least 8 to 10 minutes, but now in between you can add the salt. Salt to taste. Quite a big pot of stew, so you'll need at least 2 teaspoons of salt. And now keep browning it again. Okay, you can see the meat's nice and brown now, so now we need to add the tomatoes. Now keep browning the tomatoes and the meat together till the tomatoes are nice and mushy. Okay, you can see all the tomatoes are nice and mushy. It's been frying with the meat. This took at least 6 minutes. And now we're going to add the water. And I've got 5 mugs of water in here. It should be covering the meat, like an inch above the meat, so you've got enough water to cook the meat. Now this meat has to be cooked like 90%, not fully, because the rest of the meat will be cooked with the vegetables and dumpling. You can put the lid back on now and put the flame on medium and let it simmer away till the meat's 90% done. Okay, while the meat's cooking, I'm going to give you the ingredients for the dumpling. And here in this thali, I've got 1 mug of plain flour. That would be maida for people in India. And this size mug I've used for it. And I will also need some water. And the slight variation to it is I'm going to add the butter in the flour. rather than putting it separately like I did in the previous video. So I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter, And I've got 2 green chilies chopped here. You could use 1 if you want, if you don't want it too spicy. And I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of black ground pepper, and I've got 2 heaped tablespoons of green coriander, and we'll need some salt. So I'm going to add the salt, like 1/2 teaspoon of salt to the flour, and I'm going to add the pepper, green chilies, and the coriander. Basically everything goes in there, and then you add the melted butter. Mix it all together. And then you just form this into a dough. So keep using little water at a time. This dumpling is really, really delicious. You must try this. Let's add a little bit more water. And once it's formed into a dough, then you start kneading it. Now you knead this for at least 3 to 4 minutes. You can see my dough is ready. It took at least 3 minutes of kneading, and now you just either put a damp cloth around it or put a bowl around it, and now you keep this aside, and we're waiting for the meat to still get tender. Okay, you can see our meat is still cooking, so now we can make the dumplings. So last time I showed you how to make it into square like paratha and add the butter, but this butter is already in there, so you don't have to do that. You just have to take like chapati size loaves. This is the easier way. And then keep these aside, and you just take some dry maida, some dry plain flour, and you just start rolling them. See all the green chilies and the coriander coming through? That's what makes this dumpling so tasty. Okay, so once you've rolled it nice and round, now you can just cut them into strips. You can make any shapes you want. Add that in there. Now you can either leave them whole if you want, or you can, like me, just go through the middle. Depends if you want long ones or just bite size, and you just put them all onto another thali or a tray. And that's it. Now you keep doing making the rest of the chapatis and chapati shaped dough, and then cutting it. So carry on doing this exactly like that. Okay, that's the last one I've just cut into strips, and that's all the dumpling strips ready. Like I said, you can make them round shapes if you want, and then you just take a damp cloth. You can sprinkle some flour so it doesn't stick, and just put a damp cloth on top of it and keep it aside. I'll do that as well until we need it. Okay, my meat's 90% tender now. So now we're going to start adding all the vegetables. You put all the cauliflower. potatoes. You can pick and choose what vegetables you want to put on it. You could put loki, tinder, beans, anything you want. My favorite is cauliflower and carrots and peas. So that's what I use. Put the chilies whole, put the button onions and the carrots. Stir it all in, and then we'll add the water. Now I've got 4 mugs of water in here. And I'll put another mug as well, so that's 5. Basically letting all the vegetables be covered in the water, because this will thicken up when the dumplings go in, so don't worry about the liquid. And now you just wait for the water to come to boil before we add the dumplings. Okay, you can see the stew is boiling now. When it starts to boil like this, then it's time to put the dumpling in. So just pick up each dumpling and just chuck it in the boiling stew. Okay, last few going in now, and that's all the dumplings in. You can see it's still boiling away. Now very gently give it a stir. Without breaking the dumplings. And now you need to put it on simmer, but only on the heat that the water is still on a rolling boil. Don't let the water stop boiling. Put it on a gentle simmering medium heat, and you can see it's still boiling away. Now you put the lid on, and now let this cook till the potato and carrots are tender. This should take around 25 minutes. Okay, our dumpling stew is ready. It took exactly 20 minutes. The carrots are tender, potatoes are tender. Now I'm just going to turn the gas off, and then we just have to garnish it with this. Needs a lot of coriander. So give it a gentle stir, and then put all the rest of the coriander, and then right at the end you take half a lime and squeeze half the lime in there, and that's it. Now you let it rest before we serve it out in a dish. Okay, that's our lovely delicious dumpling stew ready. Just before it goes onto the table, add a few more leaves of coriander, and that's it, ready to serve. Now this dumpling stew can be eaten as a whole meal on its own. You don't need rice or chapati with it, and the next day when there's some leftover, and if it thickens up, just add a little hot water. So I hope you all like it. Give it a go and write on your comments what you think about it. And I shall see you next time with some more delicious cooking. But until then, may God go with you and give you His peace.